What is good? Gosh, it's been a while. It's been a crazy and wild couple weeks in all of wrestling, hands down, especially here at the WTFW podcast. But hey, we really wanted to give time for things to marinate, the fluid situations to go through. There's a lot that happened on the shows. You got the barbed wire match that happened with AEW last week. We have Vince McMahon stepping down and stepping away. Triple H talk. We got SummerSlam predictions. Yes, we have official SummerSlam predict. Casual wrestling fan, you challenged us to get our predictions out on Wednesday. I know you taking over the mailbag today, so hey, we decided that we're gonna do it all one time, all at the same time and in one shot today. And I got my boys here. No, Nemean is still on his hiatus, and that's fine because I got Justin here, and then I also have newly repackaged. We got Rudy Garland in the house. This is gonna be an exciting episode. So
take it over the rainbow, boys. Take it over the rainbow.
Oh no, that is so punny. This is gonna be bad in a good way, not like in a Miz Logan Paul way. But we will get there. But first of all, guys, hey, let's
start with the elephant in the room.
Let's get the elephant out of the room. Let's get the facts out there. I did the research, and the bottom line is this: a lot of people thought that Vince McMahon stepping away was also going to be a way of keeping him involved, keeping him ready to be able to come back down the line after scandals and whatnot, fade away. But that is not the case. Stephanie McMahon has been officially signed, dealed as co-CEO. Triple H is not just head of talent relations, but he is also now in charge of creative. So, we've said it for a couple of years. That's what we wanted. And in a turnaround of events, it's what we got. So, we're going to let you kick this off first, Jay. Bottom line, you've been watching a long time. So what are your thoughts in anything related Vince McMahon?
Well, first off, I think we've all been waiting for this for a long time. And honestly, I'd kind of gotten to the point where I was thinking that Vince McMahon was never going to let loose control.
I never thought he'd leave.
Died.
Yep.
Like, I figured he'd take this to, being an old man who kind of seems senile already as it was. But I'm stoked about it. I mean, the WWE's gotten stale. And he's been using the same gimmicks, the same ideas,
formulas,
over and over and over again. And it got to the point where we've talked many times about how Raw and SmackDown has just gotten boring.
They always talk about expecting the unexpected, but we haven't felt that in a long time.
No, I can sit here and watch a Raw match with you or Rudy Garland here, and I can call it before it's even happened of what's going on.
Yes.
And it just made it to where I kind of was
makes it a lunchable.
Yeah, I was bored.
It makes it a lunchable. I mean, 2 weeks ago there was a whole episode of Raw that was a lunchable break.
I honestly didn't care to sit down and watch the whole thing. I'd put it on and I had no problem doing stuff around the house or checking my phone or even reading a book for that matter.
Exactly.
Because there was maybe one or two things on there that I cared about, and even then it wasn't that good.
And even then, I could have got that on TikTok.
We'll get back to this when we talk about AEW later.
Yes.
But to me, I think this is a very good thing because Triple H, and we just talked about this earlier, with Triple H being in charge of this, he was a wrestler. He was someone who went through the gauntlet of everything. So he understands it from a wrestler's perspective. Vince McMahon was handed a company from his dad. He bought it from him.
Yeah.
But Vince McMahon never was in the dirt with the rest of them. He was never in the proverbial
trenches.
Crap, all he saw was ways to make money. And he went with the same formulas that he knew would work every time. And it's kind of like how we talk about, with the Lesnar Reigns matches. Here we are, once again, seeing that. How many times do we see some of these matches over the years? How many times was it Austin versus Rock at WrestleMania?
I mean, look at SummerSlam. SummerSlam card is almost a complete rematch
of Mania
of the last paper of Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank and SummerSlam are almost identical,
with the exception of you get the main title match.
Right?
But yeah, it's.
What do you think, Rudy? What do you think, Rudy? I mean, you an old head. You an old head, Rudy Garland. I mean, let's go down the Yellow Brick Road for a second.
Oh man, you know what this was? It was like taking the curtain off this whole scandal that McMahon has gone through. It's just the curtain was lifted. We see him for what he was, and
what we've already known.
We already knew, but I mean, a vast majority of people didn't know that, and so they didn't know of the scandal. But this one was out in the open.
Not wanting to believe it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So the wizard has been shown. But I got to give props to him, because without Vince, wrestling would not be the product it is today.
There's no denying that.
But the problem that I always saw with his later years was that he would cycle the same old garbage.
The same.
And it was just like sex and these two big guys going at it. And it was always the same thing. It was always, it just doesn't, I mean, in the beginning it was maybe a little charming.
But times have changed.
And he can't really do that. And he was basically showing his age.
And he buried a lot of really good talent.
Oh, absolutely. He let go a lot.
He let go of a lot of good talent.
I mean, guys that are legends in other companies now.
Look at half of AEW's roster.
Exactly.
Half of AEW's
I was going to bring that up.
roster. You got your Bryan Danielsons. You got your Malachi Blacks. You got your CM Punks. I mean,
John
Moxley. The list is growing and growing and growing.
Mm-hmm.
And, someone said to me, earlier in the week, how many people does it take before you realize where the actual problem is?
Yeah.
And, but on that level, I got to agree with you. I'm going to take this moment right now, beyond the shadow of a doubt. Thank you, Vince. Because without Vince McMahon, I do not believe that wrestling as we know it today exists.
No, I 100% agree with you. Yes, thank you, Vince. But on that note, goodbye, and I'm not sorry to see you go.
Exactly. And that's bottom line. And so we all can agree. Triple H taking over the reins.
Absolutely, Triple H taking over.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to see what him and possibly Heyman could do together.
I believe Paul Heyman, and this is something that I'm predicting. All right. I think that, because Paul Heyman has held every single job there is to have in WWE. Why? Because even if Vince wanted to put someone else in the position he was in, or even if he got into it with Paul Heyman about something, he never let him go.
The man has a master's degree.
It's not even just WWE. He's been in every position in almost every major company.
Everyone.
He ran his own company.
Exactly.
This is
a guy successful one that challenged WWF.
This is a guy that started out as he was taking pictures of wrestlers, and he went and he started ECW. He got that going.
Yes.
It was a challenge, and yes, there is the stories that Vince was privately backing that and making upcoming new talent. So be it. Without ECW, we wouldn't have had a lot of things that we have now.
Exactly.
Wrestling education would be where it is now.
Exactly. And I also want to give some props because, I watched, I was at Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephanie McMahon had a lot more control, or had a lot more influence at that time. Because like I said, it was a fluid situation.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? This is before Triple H got the job, but you could tell at Money in the Bank that something was a little different. You could tell you didn't feel like you knew everything that was going to happen. You had some pretty good ideas, but the Theory storyline, as much as I'm, on the fan side of me, I'm booing Theory all the way. On the critical side, Kanye Twitty side, like, Theory's doing his job. And he's doing it well. The Liv Morgan pop and the way she was used, from the get-go on the beginning of her title run right now, I think they're doing it right. I understand, like I said last time we were here, the only person I understand her fighting Ronda one more time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine with me. But these are two baby faces. There's a respect going on. I'm okay with that because I believe that if you're the champion, I don't think you should automatically get a rematch. But I do believe that you have a right to put the other person over one more time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm okay with this. Just as long as after Ronda, I want to see Liv go on to something else. Just like I want to see Roman go on to something else. Just like if Brock's going to stay around, I want to see him wrestle someone else.
I think we're jumping ahead. These are conversations to have at later in the show.
Well, you know what? It's been 2 weeks. There's a lot on my mind, and just gotta get out there. But so let's wrap up the Vince McMahon stepping away. Fire, trash, or lunchable? Fire.
Absolute fire.
Absolute fire. Triple H taking over as EVP and head of creative. Fire, trash, or lunchable?
Fire.
Nuclear holocaust.
It's a bomb, and it is huge.
We're gonna see the flying monkeys, man.
It's what we've been waiting for.
So now, but here's also what I'm saying. This is wrestling, and we know that you can't change everything in a moment's notice. So I want to see how much time they give Triple H and the new regime. Like, give them some time. Give them a little bit of time. You know what I mean? Because no matter what we're dealing with right now is still the remaining parts of what Vince started and wrote and whatnot. But I do believe that by WrestleMania, I think that's the biggest reason I think this is fire. Triple H is going to be in charge of creative at WrestleMania.
I mean, I agree with that, and I think also on that note, the important thing too is what happens when some of these contracts run out? Because Vince had, some of these contracts had specific things that Vince added to them.
That Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, exactly. So as these start running out, I think we're also going to see a dramatic change of,
turnover.
Yeah.
I think we will.
Turnover, and maybe seeing some of these people get the shot they deserve.
But also, you might see some people come back.
That's true.
There are some people that are gone specifically for the fact of Vince McMahon.
Oh, absolutely. But this is like letting the flying monkeys out, man. Everything's going to go into total chaos, and we're going to see things that we never thought we'd be able to see. Because now that Triple H and Stephanie are in charge, we're going to see a whole change. It's going to be chaos, like those monkeys.
That's one of the biggest
stomping out the straw man. We're going to be cheering that.
That's one of the biggest reasons why we here at WTFW Podcast wanted to give the week a time to breathe, because everybody's talked about this. Everybody was going to touch base on it, but I wanted to let it play out a little bit, and now, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. All right. But, okay, besides that, what's next? What we got next on the docket? Because, hey, me and Rudy Garland saw something amazing this last weekend.
We saw the rise of a new superstar.
A new superstar that is maybe new to us. Some other people may know about her a little bit, but I got to say this. Kid Bandit.
100% in.
Kid Bandit. I mean, we've even shown Justin, right? The matches. What we did is we went to Prestige Wrestling in Portland, Oregon over the weekend, where we got to see. I really hope I don't. The New Japanese wrestler. You know how to pronounce his name correctly? Huh?
Gosh, I'm just gonna.
Konosuke Takeshita. We also got to see Frankie Kazarian. We also got to see ACH, formerly known as Jordan Miles. Mm-hmm. But no matter... Oh, and you know what? For Miss Kanye Twitty, I got to throw this one out there too. We did get to see all caps ACH from... or not ACH, all caps Ethan HD.
Get it fucking
He
correct.
fought. He fought. He actually fought ACH, who is formerly Jordan Miles. But... absolutely amazing show, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Prestige Wrestling, it was your first Prestige. Would you give Prestige Wrestling as a whole fire, trash, or lunchable?
Absolute fire. It was an emerald power bomb. Like, I was so enthralled with the entire show. Even the lunchable.
Even the lunchable match
was a fruit snack.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good.
I was happy with it, and the way the fact is,
well, there was two Lunchables, but they were both fruit snacks. And I enjoyed them enough where it kept my attention, even though they were a little slow.
But let's talk about Kid Bandit, okay? Because it has just been announced. It's just been announced.
Absolutely.
Kid Bandit is going to be doing the big Prestige Wrestling event in Pomona, California, and she is going to wrestle none other than. Wait for it, y'all. Malachi Black. I got goosebumps. I literally got goosebumps right now.
SoCal, kid. Everyone in SoCal, get your tickets.
Get your tickets.
Seriously, this is not something you want to miss.
Maki Ito is going to be there, and I don't care.
Maki Ito is amazing.
It's amazing. I don't care.
Man is huge. But Kid Bandit will defy your expectations.
I mean, let's give them kind of an idea of what we saw. What it was
How long has Kid Bandit been wrestling?
Kid Bandit's been wrestling less than a year.
Yeah.
Less than a year. And she put on this match that was a Devil's Playground match with, they call him what, the Psycho Devil? Psycho Devil. And I've seen Psycho Devil in a couple, and we talked about him at the last Prestige show that I went to. They did a whole match, a death match with a broken ring, and it was one of the most brutal things. I'm talking Jon Moxley status. I'm talking barbed wire everywhere match style. Like, one of the most amazing, sadistic, crazy things I've ever seen. But the bottom line is me and Rudy had the best seats in the house. Because 2 feet in front of us was the ring, and 1 foot behind us was the entrance curtain for the wrestlers. And Kid Bandit, you got to go look her up on your YouTubes. You got to look her up on your Instagrams and everything, because I'm saying this right now. Right now, Kid Bandit is not going to be on the independent scene that long.
No, not at all.
There's no way.
There's too much heat right now. I mean, there's posts I'm seeing from the East Coast of my friends talking about Kid Bandit. Even down south, in the Southeast and the Southwest, they're talking about her. She is blowing up the circuit right now.
And the bottom line is the in-ring work from this girl. And you know, let me just say this one time.
Okay.
I don't know the pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm because I'm not saying it's not because I don't care. It's that I don't know right now. Mm. But Kid Bandit, the professional wrestler, hands down, in my top 5 professional wrestlers I've ever seen live. Period. And what she's capable of. I mean, wow. I'm going to try and get her on the show. We got to. Like, I already ordered a shirt, Rudy.
Yeah.
I didn't order you one.
Yeah, that's all right.
I didn't.
I'll order one.
I'm selfish.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's all
but
right.
The bottom line is this is Prestige Wrestling. We've already decided to go to Rise of the Dead in Portland, Oregon on October 30th. I might even try and go down to California and catch a couple matches down there. The bottom line is this is 2 things I want to say to wrap this one up. Kid Bandit, if you're listening to this podcast, check her out in every way chance you can. Period. Because this is why we watch wrestling.
Not to put myself out there, but if you're interested in seeing any of the entrances,
Tell them where to find.
Go to TikTok and look up Rudimentary Peanut. One word, Rudimentary Peanut.
Wait, Justin. Rudimentary Peanut is.
I don't.
Okay, is that fire, lunchable, or?
I don't want to touch this. That's the best you can come up with.
That's the best you could come up with?
Hey, man, I was on the spot when I was making it.
Rudimentary Peanut.
It was after a punk band.
Okay, so at Rudimentary Peanut.
Are you referring to something else?
Oh, no. We PG here. We PG here. We're not doing a mid storyline.
No. It was named after a punk band. But you can find the entrances there. You can actually see Kanye right there. He's in a lot of my shots blocking them, but you can see the smile on his face. There's a few times that we look at each other. It's really funny.
The bottom line is I've been to so many shows. Royal Rumbles, Summer Slams, Independence, but for 10 minutes during Kid Bandit's match, I stood there with my hands on my head in utter silence, looking at Rudy saying, what the F, WTF, are we watching? What is going on here? Oh my goodness. I mean,
from the videos you showed me, I'd say the fact they brought out a door.
Yeah, this is something new.
They brought out a door and used
in Prestige Wrestling, they do not use tables. They use doors. I had to learn this at the first show. I was saying, we want tables, and somebody that was a Prestige fan educated me and said, we want doors. Not only did they have doors, they had doors wrapped in barbed wire. And then they stacked them on top of it. And what was my favorite part of the show?
They stole his chair.
They stole my chair. The devil took my chair, brought it in the ring, set up the doors, and then proceeded to have Kid Bandit throw him through them.
Setting up the finisher.
Absolutely amazing. Prestige Wrestling. I got to get the promoter on the show. I got to get Kid Bandit on the show because I'm all in. I'm telling you this right now. I love WWE. I love AEW. I love them all. But there is something different about Prestige Wrestling.
I do have the video of the finish for that match.
Yes.
I will be posting that tonight on TikTok, and you can check it out there. It's just mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. That's really all we... It's undescribable.
You know, what it reminded me of is the first time I watched XPW and had that feeling when I watched Supreme wrestle for the first time.
Yeah.
It was like there's so much hope that this person can go further and climb up the circuit. I'm hoping that doesn't, that happens for Kid Bandit, unlike what happened in Supreme. But I'm all in. All chips are in on Kid Bandit.
All in. Kid Bandit, you are on. I'm saying it now. On the Permafire list.
You are my ruby slippers.
Right there. Oh, goodness sakes. Oh, all right. Permafire Kyle, you got somebody added with you on the Permafire list, and that is none other than Kid Bandit and Prestige Wrestling. Period. All right. So let's get into some meat and potatoes of what happened over the weeks, and I'll let Justin start this off because he's been waiting to talk about it.
All right.
Well, actually, I'm going to take it a different way. I think before we get into that, we have a new Ring of Honor champion.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
We do.
We have a very well-deserving Ring of Honor champion.
We do.
Let's give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause.
Claudio, a.k.a. Cesaro. You go ahead, run with it, because I have nothing but fire.
My jaw dropped when I found out.
I was glad to see it.
Yeah.
I was glad that finally. Especially, we just got done talking about, Vince McMahon buried a lot of people, and a lot of talent didn't get their just desert. As Cesaro, he was one of my favorite people in WWE.
I remember when I thought he might actually win against Roman.
He's a stacked individual, and for his size, he is stronger than he looks.
Yes.
And he is talented, and he's very professional. So it's glad to see him finally get his
shot.
Well, that's the thing a lot of people in the industry said. He's incredibly strong.
They say in WWE that he was the strongest man in WWE, and he proved it over and over again. He may not be as big as a Brock Lesnar, but he was stronger than Brock Lesnar in strength.
And, even though we all, laughed about, the spinning around and holding him, some of those guys, that took a lot of upper body strength to
Not
hold
only are
on
you spinning a 300-pound man over and over again, but you have to keep yourself from getting vertigo, dizzy, No, Claudio, formerly known as Cesaro, I haven't even gotten to see the match because it was on that show. I didn't have access to it. But I popped by reading the article. Flat out, hands down. He deserves every bit of this championship. I wasn't a big fan of the other guy. And you know what I'm going to say? I'm just going to call him the other guy. Because it's not important to me.
No,
he wasn't important to me when he had the title. He wasn't important to me when I got introduced to him. And from everything that I've read,
he's kind of whiny.
I just don't care.
The other takeaway from that Ring of Honor event, Death by Dishonor, FTW has definitely solidified themselves as they are probably the best in the world.
Top guys.
They beat the Briscoes.
Top guys.
And, the Briscoes are someone who... They're very talented as well, but no, they are top guys.
They are the top guys.
They've earned those 3 titles, and again, 2 people buried by WWE.
Exactly. I'll be honest, I was out on them. I was so out on them in WWE that I never had the opportunity to respect the work they did in the ring. Ever since they went to AEW, their work in the ring has shown me exactly why they are, if not, one of the top 2 tag teams in the business today.
Well, that and the fact that AEW lets their talent go to other promotions
and
do other things. WWE doesn't do that. But allowing them to do other promotions only makes people better.
It builds credibility, too, from a story standpoint. Not only are they beating people in their own promotion, but they go to somewhere else and beat them and take their titles. And it's a double-edged sword because at the same time, that other promotion's title gets to be featured or shown, walked out on national television.
And some of those people are going to show up on national television.
Yes.
On a chance they'd never get.
And let's take a third takeaway from Death by Dishonor. Because I've talked about her a whole lot. I got her very first shirt. I have her very first 5x7 or whatever picture you get. But Willow Nightingale got the W. She got the W. I'm not saying she's being used as a jobber in AEW. She's doing her role in AEW. But seeing her live, she put me over with her fight with Taya Valkyrie, again at Prestige Wrestling. But Willow Nightingale is another one that I'm saying this too. I don't think she stays on the independents all that long.
No.
She's ready for TV. I want to see her on TV. Hands down. That's what I feel like we missed a pay-per-view that was amazing.
I've always enjoyed Ring of Honor. They just never have gotten enough publicity, I think, that not enough people know about it. But a lot of the talent that we love has come from Ring of Honor.
And that's facts. And that's something Claudio said. He said that it's crazy that he felt that there was nothing more that he could do, in WWE, because he wanted to do bigger things. He wanted to keep growing, and he just felt like he couldn't do that there. And what happened? He went back to Ring of Honor. Ultimately, that's a full circle. Mac Miller, running circles. He went back to another company, and he ended up with the Ring of Honor champion. So one more time, Claudio, way to be. But some people aren't realizing. You know what that does? Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh, yeah.
They have 3 titles. Moxley's got one. Yuta's got one. Claudio's got one.
So what's Bryan Danielson taking?
There's one title I want him to have. One. We all know what it is. And it's not because I'm a CM Punk hater. But I think that he has to ultimately get that title. It does. I don't think Moxley's holding it after CM Punk gets back.
Well, we're going to find out.
Soon.
Yeah.
Sooner than later.
Yeah.
To be honest. But that's all speculation. But now,
All right, let's
Blackpool Combat Club has 3 titles.
All right, so let's get into what we wanted to talk about. So, AEW, last Wednesday, final match.
Whew.
We watched on national TV
Barbed wire everywhere.
a pay-per-view caliber match on TV. Something that was absolutely fantastic. And after watching that match, the first thing that ran through my head was, WWE, you have been put on notice.
Yep.
This wasn't you need to go spend $60 to watch this match. This was, you turn on your TV, you turn it to TBS, and here you go.
And they gave it to us.
It was absolutely epic. And watching it right away and going, wait a minute, they're really not faking this.
There wasn't any cut jobs. They weren't using razors or doing. Because we looked for that.
We were watching very closely.
No,
on that.
they used the actual barbed wire. There was a time where Kingston had it stuck on the inside of his leg, and I was worried for him. You could see the look on their face. It reminds me so much of the match we saw with Kid Bandit. Is these people are putting on a show for the viewer, for the people in the stands, and they don't have to. Let's be honest. They don't have to put their bodies into as much danger as they have. And that's something to be respected. Chris Jericho's how old?
He's getting up there.
Sting's how old? And he's jumping off balconies?
Sting's like 60.
You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't have to.
Jericho's in his 50s.
But they're still doing it. And that is something that I think should be respected.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But I think a big thing is, like, they're allowed a significant amount of creative control to allow themselves to do this. No, they didn't have to do this match. But instead, they gave all the fans in that arena and everyone at home had something to talk about. This is something easily could have been done on a pay-per-view.
Easily. It would have headlined.
It would be something that, like, you really wanted to see. Nope, it wasn't. This is just a casual match we're having on TV. It's our main event.
Yeah.
It was Fyter Fest.
It was Fyter Fest.
But no, this was just on regular TV. You haven't seen something like this done since, the Attitude Era.
No, not even that. I mean, we're talking ECW.
Yeah.
Yes, this reminded me of ECW.
I watched it once after Justin came home and told me, you just missed one of the sickest matches ever. And then I finally caught it on YouTube, or play on YouTube, which I'm kind of looking over again. And the way it's done, the way it's shot, the way the work, it's absolutely reminds me of ECW, IWA era. It's that kind of brutal death match.
It reminded me a lot of like the old Mick Foley and Terry Funk matches.
Oh,
Back in New
even
Japan.
Sabu, even the ending reminded me of Sabu versus Punk.
Yeah.
It was that nasty.
And, you know, they did a good use of, you know, the way they used the tables. There wasn't really a big, you know, they were there, but it wasn't like really pushed. But just the way the barbed wire was set up and the way that, like, you actually felt like, you felt uncomfortable a few times where it's like, okay, like, how far are we really going to push this? And at the end, throwing Jericho in that pit of barbed wire, that was just like the icing on the cake, you know? It was great, absolutely through and through, and it started out just, boom, we're going for it. We're no holds barred. There's not going to be any like, all right, we're going to warm up to it. It was immediately, microphone full of barbed wire, we're cutting Jericho's head open.
Yeah.
We're going for blood.
It was. I will admit it. It was just like, you know, this is gonna be the running theme. I think I'm just gonna call it. The episode's called Kid, Bandit, Permafire. Period. Because that's what it reminded me of. You know, seeing live, and there was no difference whether I saw this match on TV or the Kid Bandit match, you know, live in person. Both of these matches had me standing like that. Hey, but cats are getting crazy in here. See, casual. We do this live. We do this in one take. We got like 5 kittens around here fighting right now. That's what you're hearing.
And a begging dog.
And a begging dog. But anyways, it really went so far to show it made me uncomfortable, but in a good way. You know? It had me in stunned silence. Absolute stunned silence. And to get that kind of a reaction out of me, thank you. You know? I'm not saying I want it all the time, you know? Because it didn't feel forced.
No.
It did not feel
forced. It doesn't
forced.
need to happen all the time, but it was something that did happen, and it was refreshing. You know, it was refreshing to see something like that and not have to pay $60 to go watch.
Right. You know, because I mean, I'll admit that I wanted to see it, but it wasn't something I built my week around.
No.
You know, like with the pay-per-view, we have to build our week around it. This was awesome. AEW fire with the barbed wire match. I mean, they even had the ring bell covered in barbed wire. Okay, like
it did get a bit ridiculous.
It got a little ridiculous but hey, it worked and they sold the concept. That's what I feel is now the next time AEW does a barbed wire everywhere match, I'm in and I'm watching it. I want to know what else they can cover in barbed wire.
Let's cover the ref next time.
Oh no! Cover the ref. Cover the ref with barbed wire. Oh no! Speaking of refs, by the way, there is a tall ref in Prestige Wrestling. Some of us have seen him on AEW. He's going to be the tall, skinny ref. His name is Brad. I'm going to break character. His name is Brad, and he is one of the best refs I've ever seen. I was lucky enough to see him outside. Got a picture with him, you know, before he went into character, but. Man, to see a ref walk into a ring and immediately get heat, like I'm talking theory level heat when he gets in the ring, absolutely phenomenal. So I want to give a shout out to Brad, the referee in Prestige. Like I said, he's been on AEW shows a couple times, but man, this man does his job well. He does his job well because I feel like the refs, sometimes they can do too much. You know, that's why you hear people say, "Shut up, Aubrey." You know, I mean, sometimes they can take away, but no, wow.
Super cool guy.
You need refs that are good at their job. You know, so AEW. That's all I remember. To be honest with you, for the whole week of AEW, that was it. I'm not saying there wasn't other things that happened that were cool.
The FTW promo, that was pretty nice.
Oh, you are right. The shoot promo from Dax Hardwood.
Yeah,
about his daughter.
Yeah, I didn't know where they were going for it.
It almost. Then, I was about to get. I was a little comfortable, and halfway through, I was like, "Where is this going?"
But then when it hit, it was like, "Okay, you know what?"
Yep. Props, and those weren't wolf tears. Those were not wolf tears. That's the only time that I'm okay with a professional wrestler crying in the ring, is if it's a shoot and not a work. Wolf tears, I'm not in. But that tugged at my heart, and I didn't even need it. I'm already in on FTR. Now I'm in even more. Because like they said in that promo, they're not used to being cheered like this. It reminds me a lot of John Cena when he came back last year. He's not used to being cheered like this. He's not used to it. And that is something that is never really thought about. Somebody who's such a good heel for so long, or hated, or has heat for so long, and then they find something happens and they go over with the crowd.
Yeah,
that's neat. And so but that also goes to show why FTR is as good as they are. Period. Like 100%. So we're gonna say the promo fire, and we're gonna say barbed wire match.
Fire.
Absolute, beyond a shadow of a doubt, fire. And really, yeah, those are the two things that stood out for me for AEW. I'll be honest with you.
And let's be honest, Jericho still got it.
Jericho belongs on the Mount Rushmore. Period.
Yeah. And one more thing out of AEW. Yeah, you and I have talked about this, and Rudy, you've talked about it with us many times. The question on seeing Sting in an actual match. I am ready to watch Sting and Malachi Black.
I'm ready. I'm ready because I think that I know. No, not think. I know. Malachi Black wouldn't just have to carry him through a match, because that's disrespectful to Sting. But at his age and with the health problems and whatnot, that's the factor. But I believe that Malachi Black, regardless who wins, I think Malachi Black and Sting could put on a 5-star match. And if that's the last 5-star match I see from Sting, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah, absolutely. If the man can still jump off something and splash like that and continue to go, all right, what do you got?
Yep. I'm in. I'm appreciating Sting.
Every time
He clearly has more left in the tank.
I'm appreciating every moment that we have of Sting right now because it's borrowed time.
Yeah, I get that queasy feeling every time I see him jump off something. Like, is this going to be the last time he jumps off?
But we weren't supposed to have Sting back now.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, we weren't supposed to have Bryan Danielson back.
Yep.
We weren't supposed to have Funk back for that one era.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to have Edge back.
Yep. But things happen.
Hey, so
modern medicine, as much as
last bit of gas in the tank, just keep going.
There's still things. If they got the money, they can do it.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. Like I said, this episode's a little different because we really wanted to give so much props and respect to not just the promotions, but the performers. I mean, from, like I said, Prestige Wrestling with ACH and All Caps and Takashita, Frankie Kazarian, Kid Bandit, absolutely in a crowd of, about 200 people, because it was a small venue on purpose. It was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. And then with AEW, you got your Chris Jerichos, your Eddie Kingstons, your Darby Allins, which we can never talk enough about on how amazing that kid is. Hometown boy Darby Allin. But I think we're about to. It all goes back to the first thing we talked about. It's not just Triple H taking over that it's important. I believe that wrestling as a whole business, is about to change, and I think that we are about to enter a new, different era of wrestling across the board. Period. And that is awesome and fire, because who does that ultimately benefit? Us, the fans.
I'm excited to see what the new era is going to bring.
I'm excited about all promotions right now.
Okay,
it's
so
a
question.
fresh breath of air that we've needed it for a long time.
We get down to WrestleMania, It'll be long enough that they're going to have full control. Does WWE open the forbidden door?
You know what?
Do they do it?
I think they have to at this point.
Yeah, I do too.
I think it would be.
They have to.
I think that it would be a bad business decision to not.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form.
There's got to be something. I mean, at the Rumble, there's always that random,
No, I'm talking a real forbidden door open.
But no, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's get something going here.
Yeah, because
make us enjoy your product again.
Yes, not only enjoy your product, but realize now that most of us aren't just watching even if you're not watching the other promotions, you're checking it out. If you follow wrestling in any way, shape, or form, you're getting those into your feed on social media, Instagram, Twitter, and all that. You're finding out about all this stuff.
You want to know where these people went after they left WWE.
And now you want to know what's going on in other promotions. Like you said, Rudy, the Kid Bandit match in a little small venue in a underground company, Prestige, practically went viral.
Yeah, it absolutely did.
Practically went viral.
Not just because of what kind of athlete she is. It's the fact that the match was so incredibly violent.
People are sharing these, and people are
done.
sharing it. People are experiencing all this. So yes, I believe that Vince leaving doesn't just affect WWE. I believe that is the biggest domino that could possibly fall to finally give us another era of wrestling.
It was the last thing stopping progression.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm just hoping they don't do the same mistake that happened when the height of WCW and ECW and WWF, where you had these three promotions.
I don't want them fighting anymore. I want them working together.
I want a big show. I want to see the cross. I would be in heaven, hog heaven, if they all just did one.
I've said this before.
Show.
The best thing that they could do is, I know WrestleMania will always be WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Okay? Hands down, no matter what, WrestleMania is the biggest sporting event in the world, darn near.
Give me a super fight.
But give me one pay-per-view a year that, call it Forbidden. That's what I think Forbidden Door should be now. Yeah. It's not, you know what? No, it's not that WWE needs to open the Forbidden Door. It's that WWE needs to walk through the Forbidden Door.
Absolutely.
Here's an idea. Let's reinvent Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Instead of just WWE teams, let's see someone from AEW. Let's see someone from.
I want to agree, but with me,
Survivor, like you said before, though, let's reinvent the War Games.
But I feel like Survivor Series can stay in house. I'm saying that Forbidden Door is the first thing, but Forbidden Door was the key.
No, it was.
So now I actually realize this now. It's not that I want to see WWE open the Forbidden Door. I want to see them go through the Forbidden Door. So at the next Forbidden Door show, that's the way they take it to a whole nother level. I want to see WWE go through it. Because I think Forbidden Door is what I've wanted, and I think that it is an amazing concept, and I believe that it could grow to something WrestleMania status.
Yeah.
What if every year you held it at a different home of a promotion? So now it was here for AEW. What if next year it was in New Japan? What if the following year it was in WWE's world? You know what I'm saying? Like Madison Square Garden, that's where they'd have to do it.
I think next year has to be at New Japan.
I think next year has to be in New Japan. But that would be the perfect time for WWE to go through the Forbidden Door.
Now, with this change and everything,
give us the dream matches.
I really hope we don't have any more Saudi Arabia shows.
We are going to have those for, I believe, another 4 years. The money's there.
Yeah.
The money's been paid. So, all right. So we got that out of the way. Now, we're going to go ahead and take a quick lunchable breather break. And we're going to get into our predictions for SummerSlam. And that will allow us to get a little bit of background, to stuff, because not all of us have seen everything. But I'm just gonna hit the pause button for a second, because we live, we're doing this in one shot. But hey, I want something to drink. I need to go get some water. So that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna be right back here on WTFW Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.